Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be talking about several things that could derail the car market in the next few months. Before we get in this video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. The first big thing is interest rate changes. Interest rates have consistently increased over the last year plus, and it looks like that trend is going to continue. Even if the Federal Reserve doesn't continue to raise their rates, what we are seeing on the auto loan side of things is that rates are consistently going up, especially with new car auto loans. Now, with used cars, about half of buyers will finance that purchase. With new cars, it's closer to like 80+%. And so most of the car market finances the purchase. And so if interest rates go up, affordability goes down, especially with new cars, having so many people finance those new car purchases. And new cars are actually, or new car auto loans are actually the loans that are seeing the biggest interest rate increases currently. Used car loans have been pretty consistent with the rates over the last few months. And so this is definitely a big event that is going to have some major changes on the auto market, especially the new car auto market in the coming months. And so it'll be something that we'll just have to watch to see what happens. My guess is automakers are just going to have to continue to release bigger discounts and more cemented rates to keep people purchasing these new cars with the change of rates that we are going to be experiencing. Now, the next big change is gas prices. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm still poor enough to have to look at the price of gas when I go to the pump. And every single time that I have gone to the pump over the last, I feel like month or two, it's just consistently gone up with the price. Now, every single time that gas prices go up, this shifts where buyers are going to go with car purchases, right? When gas is cheap, everyone's getting big V8 powered vehicles, right? Not necessarily V8 powered, but bigger vehicles, big trucks and SUVs. When gas prices go up, right, when they're more expensive, then everyone's going into smaller cars. And now that we have EVs in the market, it definitely does push more people into EVs. Now, I am starting to see more EV purchases happen, again, with these higher gas prices. And I'm also starting to see, bigger and bigger discounts on big trucks and big SUVs because there's not as many buyers for those vehicles. Again, there already, is a pretty small buyer base for these vehicles because interest rates are really high and the prices on these vehicles are really high. But you pair that with high gas prices, and the affordability for the average person to purchase a big truck or an SUV just isn't there. And so that is definitely something that is going to, that we should basically pay attention over the coming months. Like, are gas prices going to continue to go up? And if they are, then that is definitely going to shift where people are purchasing. And so I guess that'll make the affordable cars less affordable because they'll be less available, and the unaffordable cars will become slightly more affordable because they'll be more available, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Now, the big thing that I've kind of refrained from talking about on this channel because I just didn't have enough information to talk about it is the potential for strikes at different factories. Now, this is still a situation where it has to unfold for us to fully understand the scale of what, is currently happening and what could potentially happen. But here's what I've kind of gotten through my research and through conversations with different people in the automotive industry. So first off, it is something that a lot of automakers are very concerned about because a lot of automakers are still recovering from the production slump during COVID. And so having another production slump, right, that is definitely not what they want. And so because a lot of automakers are very concerned about this situation, I've heard, basically of automakers right now just overproducing cars, right? Producing more than what they normally do. And the reason why they're doing this is so that they have these cars just sitting there that they can then ship to dealerships while these strikes happen so that they don't have to, stop the shipments. And then once they run out of these cars, then, they'll do what they can to stop the strike and then move on and try to produce more vehicles. Again, that is more hearsay, so I would not see that as actual quote unquote news, but that is something that I have heard about this situation. Regardless of that, if the strikes are big enough and if we see enough factories shut down, that is definitely going to mess up things in the car market in a negative way for not only car dealers, but for consumers as well, because we are finally getting into a place in the car market where inventory levels are high enough to where dealers are willing to discount cars and where automakers are willing to discount cars. And so if we all of a sudden have a production halt with a bunch of different vehicles right across the US car market, that's going to make that situation not as good for us buyers, and then obviously for, you know, just everyone else, right? Dealers want to sell more cars, manufacturers want to sell more cars right now. And so again, we have to see the situation unfold to see the exact scale of it, but this could potentially, with the new car market, really mess things up. And I think that's the big takeaway from today's video, is there's a lot that is going against the new car market right now, right? The huge price increases, the increase in interest rates, the gas price increases, and the potential for strikes. There's a lot of stuff that is just going right at the new car market. And if all of this happens at once, then yeah, it could be a pretty bad situation. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen in the coming months. And obviously, you know, as I get updates on different parts, then I'll make some update videos on that. Anyways, I'll see you.